Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about option trade position size. So when you're trying to get into an option trade, how do you know how much it's going to cost? And then how do you determine what your overall position size should be? This is a little bit of a beginner option trading video. This isn't necessarily a comprehensive, option trading 101, but it should give you a little bit of help in that area, in that specific area, if you're getting started trading options. Let's just go over some of the, kind of like options basics information. One option contract is equal to the right to buy 100 shares of the underlying stock at a given price. For whatever reason, they package them in 100 shares, and they don't package them in any other shares. You can't buy 25 shares or 50 shares. It's always going to be 100 shares of the underlying stock, and that is represented by one option contract. Now, the option, what's kind of confusing about that is that the option price, when you're looking at your option chain, the option price is given per share instead of by the option at the actual price of the option contract. So what you have to do is you multiply that option price by 100 to get the actual price that you're going to pay for it. It's not hard to do, and obviously the more you do it, when you see that price, it's kind of in your head. It's automatic that you're going to be multiplying that times 100. Part of the reason that they do that is might be, why in the world would they not just multiply it times 100? Well, the reason is because when you're looking at the actual share price, comparing that to the option price, that's what we really care about when we're talking about, is this option contract in the money, or is it out the money, or is it getting close? Am I at break even? All those things are related to each other. And so it's very easy to see if your share price is above or below your actual option price. Just a couple of specifics on naming conventions here. The mark price is the midpoint between the bid and the ask, and that is the theoretical value of the option. Now, this is the value, the quote unquote value of the option. There's a lot to that. So there's, you'll have probably heard that there's time value in an option contract, and that's not really what I'm talking about right here. I'm just talking about the value of the bid, what somebody is bidding for, and what somebody is selling. That the mark price is just the midpoint of those two things. Why that's important is, and if you want more information on this, go watch my video on the bid-ask spread, is that if you buy an option contract at the ask, and then right after that you look at your portfolio, the value of that option will have decreased immediately, most likely, because it's going from your ask down to that midpoint, because that's how it's represented. So when you're looking, and we're going to look at this in a second, but when you're looking at the actual cost of the option, it is going to be at the ask, and then the value is going to go down to your midpoint or your mark price. So, and the bid ask is what you'd actually get for it if you're selling a contract, and the ask is what you would have to pay in order to buy that option contract. We're just going to look at this in how it looks in Robinhood, because these are easy to screenshot and easy to look at. So we currently are looking at Apple, the October 27th expiration, and the share price of Apple is currently at $181.98, and we're looking at the 182.50 call, so we're just slightly out the money, and it only needs to go up 1.8% to break even here. The value of this is, or not the value, excuse me, the price of this is $277. So as we know, we need to multiply this times 100 to get if I want to get into this option contract, it's going to cost me $277. Now, if we look at the bid is actually $274 and the ask is $277. So in order to get into this, I have to pay $277. But if I was to do that and then look at my portfolio, the actual value of this contract is going to go to the midpoint between these two numbers. So let's look, we talked now at the, how are option contracts priced, and not how they're priced, but what those prices mean, and then how we get to the total price. Let's talk about total position size. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can either do it in a set dollar amount, or in a percentage of your account, or a percentage of maybe a total amount that you want to trade in a day, or that you're comfortable trading. I would recommend for smaller accounts that you trade on a comfortable dollar amount. It's easier to handle, it's easier to think about, and it gives you a little bit more freedom when you're working with a smaller account. So for example, if you had a $300 account size, I probably wouldn't recommend trading on that $277 option contract. And the reason is because in order to manage, it's a huge portion of your account, and in order to manage that risk, you're going to have to set your stop losses pretty tight. And especially in something as volatile as options, that price is going to be moving around wildly. So if you are, not necessarily, but it has a good chance of moving around pretty wildly. And so if you set a stop loss too tight, it's going to stop you out. So there are some rules of thumb there, and I'll get into that in a separate video on risk management and option trading. But let's look at this example really quick. We have an account size of $2,000. That option contract that we were looking at was $2.77. Of course, times 100. Overall, that's going to cost us $277. That is 13.85% of the account. That is a pretty decent size of the overall account. And then you could find out, what percentage of this of my overall account I'm willing to risk. Say it's 2 or 3% or 3 to 5%, then you could find out what that value is, and then set your stop losses accordingly. Of course, if I wanted to get into more option contracts, you just multiply this number by the number of contracts that you actually want to purchase. So if you wanted to get into, if I wanted 10 contracts of this, then it would cost me $2,770. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one.